We've all been there, right? That feeling, that nagging sense you could be doing more, maybe being more. And maybe you've tried the big overhaul, new diet, new workout, new mindset, bang, all at once.
Yeah, the classic New Year's resolution trap.
Exactly. Only to find yourself, back at square one a few weeks later, feeling kind of exhausted and discouraged.
It happens all the time.
But what if the real path to profound personal transformation wasn't about those heroic, totally unsustainable efforts?
What if it was something smaller?
Yeah, what if it was about an almost imperceptible shift in your daily routine, a subtle change in who you're becoming, not just what you do?
That's such a common trap, isn't it? That all or nothing thinking.
Right.
But the truth is, lasting self-improvement, the kind that really sticks, it's not usually about those grand gestures or, radical reinventions.
So what is it then?
It's about consistency. It's about cultivating a deeper sense of identity, really.
Yeah.
And that's what this deep dive is all about. We want to cut through all that noise, offer you clear, actionable habits, physical health, mental well-being, personal growth that you can actually start implementing, today.
Think of it as your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Exactly. Not just about what habits to try, but the why behind them and how they can fundamentally start to change you from the inside out.
And that's where the real magic happens, I think. You touched on it. The big idea isn't the overhaul, it's the consistency. We've all felt that overwhelm, trying to change everything. So how do we actually bypass that resistance, make transformation feel, almost easy?
Well, easy might be strong, but definitely easier. And that's precisely why tiny habits are so incredibly powerful.
Tiny habits, okay.
Yeah, these aren't intimidating things. They're simple actions, maybe 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes, that's it.
That's it. And the real genius is how you attach them to existing routines. We call that an anchor.
An anchor.
Yeah, it leverages your brain's natural tendency to just follow established patterns. So instead of needing a ton of willpower to start something new...
You just, tack it onto something you already do anyway?
Exactly.
You link it. Okay, like doing 10 squats right after you pour your morning coffee.
Yeah.
Or maybe reading just one page of a book before brushing your teeth at night.
Perfect examples.
It sounds almost too simple, though, to get serious results.
Yeah.
But I've heard stories like Mary's story. How did these tiny, almost insignificant actions actually transform things for her?
Mary's story is, it's a brilliant illustration of this principle. She felt really stuck, caught in this cycle of anxiety, goals not happening.
Been there.
Right. Her big resolutions, they always fizzled out. So she shifted her approach entirely, started reading just one page after brushing her teeth. Just one.
Yeah.
She committed to saying one genuinely nice thing to her spouse while waiting for her coffee to brew. After lunch, she'd jot down 3 things she was grateful for. And after dinner, one fun song, dancing with her kids. Each thing, less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
And what's fascinating isn't just that she did these things, but how it subtly, almost unconsciously, shifted her identity. She went from seeing herself as someone overwhelmed
to someone who could actually make changes stick.
Exactly. Someone who believed she could. That's the core identity shift.
And were there sort of unexpected ripple effects from those tiny actions? Because I imagine it wasn't just about the squats or the single page of reading.
Oh, absolutely not. The immediate impact, sure, was less anxiety, better connection with her husband, more presence with the kids. That was great.
That's already huge.
It is. But the real surprise was how these tiny habits stacked up day after day created these profound compound effects.
The compounding.
Yes, that consistent small movement. It actually led to weight loss over time. The gratitude journaling. It improved her overall outlook so much that she felt more confident tackling other goals, professional ones, and eventually got a promotion. Yes, she became more aligned with her values simply because she was performing these micro acts day in, day out that reinforced those values. It really echoes what James Clear talks about with the 1% improvement daily.
Right, the 1% better idea.
Yeah, but the true power isn't just the linear adding up of 1%. It's that exponential curve over time. And critically, it's the identity shift that makes doing the 1% feel natural, almost automatic, which then makes the long-term compounding almost inevitable. People focus too much on the immediate gain, I think.
They miss the identity part. So, okay, if we're talking about these ripple effects, these cascading changes, where's the best place for someone listening to start? What's that first domino to push?
That really brings us to identifying your keystone habit.
Keystone habit. Okay, what's that?
It's a specific routine that when you practice it consistently, it naturally triggers other positive changes, often without you even consciously trying.
Like a chain reaction.
Kind of, yeah. For a lot of people, exercise is a classic keystone. When they work out regularly, they often find they don't have to force themselves as much to eat better or prioritize sleep.
It just sort of happens.
It becomes a more natural extension, yeah. Their brain is already kind of primed for well-being. So we really encourage you, the listener, to reflect. What's that one habit for you? The one that, when it's solidly in place, seems to make everything else just fall into line a bit easier. It might not be the obvious one.
That's a great question to ponder. And while you're thinking about your keystone habit, let's maybe shift our focus inward a bit, because true self-improvement really has to start with nurturing your inner world, right?
Absolutely. It's foundational.
It's not always about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about creating that solid base first.
Couldn't agree more. And that foundation for, all mental and emotional well-being, it really begins with prioritizing rest and reflection.
Sleep, the eternal struggle.
Yes, restful sleep. It's just non-negotiable. Not just for physical energy, obviously, but for cognitive function, emotional regulation, even things like metabolic health.
And it affects our moods so much.
Hugely. A surprising insight from sleep research is just how deeply it impacts our emotional resilience. When you're sleep deprived, you're not just tired.
No, you're grumpy.
You're grumpy, yes. And your negative emotional responses are significantly amplified. Your ability to cope with even minor stressors just plummets.
So beyond the usual tips, consistent times,
Yeah.
cool, dark room, what else can help?
Well, those are key. But also consider things like red spectrum lights in the evening. They don't suppress melatonin the way blue light from screens does.
Oh, interesting.
Or even just wearing blue light blocking glasses after sunset if you really can't avoid screens before bed. Little tweaks can make a difference.
Okay, so assuming we managed to get some decent sleep, how do we then start that crucial work of slowing down and actually engaging with our own minds in a healthy way?
That's where practices like mindfulness and meditation become so transformative.
Which can sound intimidating to some people.
It can, but mindfulness at its core is simply the practice of focusing on the present moment, without judgment.
Not about emptying your mind.
No, not at all. It's more about observing what's already there, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and the scientific backing for its benefits is really robust now. It can physically change the brain's structure over time.
How so?
It can reduce activity in the amygdala, that's our fear center, and strengthen connections in the prefrontal cortex, which handles executive functions like focus and decision-making.
Wow. So for someone listening who thinks, I can't meditate.
Start tiny. Try these micro practices, like really pay attention, use all your senses next time you eat something you enjoy, or intentionally live in the moment. Just notice one simple pleasure in your day. Really notice it. Or, if you feel stressed, just focus on your breathing, even for just 60 seconds.
So it's not about achieving perfect stillness.
Not at all. It's about consistent awareness, building that muscle.
What about channeling our internal thoughts and feelings more productively, beyond just observing them? Because let's face it, we all have that constant mental chatter.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude and journaling are excellent tools for that, especially for kind of rewiring negative thought patterns.
How does gratitude do that?
Well, research shows that a consistent gratitude practice, and it doesn't have to be hours, maybe 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, doesn't just make you feel good right then.
Okay.
It can actually lead to sustained increases in well-being months later. Because you're actively training your brain to scan for and notice the positive. It shifts your cognitive bias.
That's powerful. And journaling.
Journaling complements that beautifully. It gives you a direct line to your subconscious in a way. The key is often what's called expressive writing.
Meaning?
Writing without censoring yourself. Just letting thoughts and emotions flow onto the page. Studies have linked this to boosted immune function, reduced mental distress, even increased resilience.
Any practical tips for journaling?
Just write. Don't worry about grammar or making sense initially. Oh, and a really practical one. Try jotting down a quick to-do list for the next day right before bed.
Does that help?
Studies show it significantly reduces the time it takes to fall asleep. Basically, you're offloading those mental burdens onto the paper.
That's a great hack. Okay, and since we're social creatures, presumably, how do our connections with other people fit into this whole self-improvement picture?
Oh, strengthening relationships is absolutely vital. It's not just fluff.
Right, feels good. But is there more to it?
Definitely. Beyond the obvious emotional support, Strong social connections are linked to significantly reduced stress levels, a lower risk of chronic diseases, and even increased longevity.
Wow, longevity too.
Yeah, the data is pretty clear on that. And it's not necessarily about having a huge circle of friends.
It's quality over quantity.
Exactly. Cultivating genuine, high-quality connections. And the actionable tips are often quite simple. Regular, intentional check-ins, even just a quick text asking how someone is really doing. Scheduling calls, maybe bi-weekly, or even just carving out time for a brief, dedicated conversation over coffee where you're both fully present.
It's surprising how much just a few minutes of real, focused connection can make a difference to your whole day.
It really can. But, in our hyper-connected world, we also face these unique challenges, especially around technology.
Right. We're often connected technically, but not really connecting.
Precisely. And cutting back on things like social media, for example, can be crucial for mental well-being.
Why is that so impactful?
Well, that constant curated comparison to everyone else's highlight reel, it isn't just irritating. It actively triggers the brain's reward system in unhealthy ways, leading to dopamine dependency.
Like an addiction cycle.
Very much like that. It's been strongly linked to significant increases in anxiety and depression. Think of it like a slot machine designed specifically to keep you hooked.
So what are some practical tips beyond just, turning off notifications?
Notifications are a start, but try keeping your phone out of the bedroom entirely. That's a big one.
Hard, but probably effective.
Very. Replace that scroll time with a pre-planned activity you actually find energizing, a hobby, reading, anything. Or consider deleting the most problematic apps entirely, maybe just for a week, as a digital detox. See how you feel.
That extends to a broader idea, doesn't it?
It does. It broadens into a larger principle, actively limiting the activities, people, or inputs that consistently drain your energy, and intentionally identifying and pursuing those that genuinely refuel and energize you. Make conscious swaps.
And for a quick, universal mood boost,
Yeah.
especially when you're feeling drained by anything, what's one habit we can all pretty much adopt?
Simple one. Get some sunshine.
Good old vitamin D.
Well, yes, vitamin D synthesis is important, but it's more than that. Sunlight exposure plays a critical role in regulating our circadian rhythm, our internal body clock.
Okay.
It also boosts serotonin production, that's our natural feel-good hormone, and enhances alertness and cognitive function.
So even just a few minutes helps.
Absolutely. Even 5 minutes of natural light exposure, especially earlier in the day if possible, can help reset your internal clock and give you a significant mood lift.
And you don't need to be on a beach somewhere.
No. Take a quick walk outside during break. Sit near a sunny window while you work. Suggest an outdoor walking meeting instead of sitting in a conference room. Simple things.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly and unpack this next idea because it feels like it really ties a lot of this together. The be, do, have concept.
Ah, yes. This is a powerful one.
It sounds like achieving our goals isn't just about what you do or even what you ultimately have, but it's really about who you become in the process.
That's the profound shift, exactly. Most people approach goals by focusing first on the desired outcome, the result.
Like, I want to have a promotion.
Right. And then they think about the DO, the actions they need to take to get there. So I will do more work longer hours.
Standard approach.
It is. But for lasting, often more effortless change, the be, do, have model flips it. It encourages you to first consider, who do I need to be to naturally accomplish those goals?
Okay, explain that more.
It's about cultivating the mindset, the identity, the characteristics of the person who naturally achieves those things. So instead of just focusing on doing organization, you focus on being an organized person. When you start to embody being consistent or confident or healthy, the doing becomes a natural expression of that identity, and the having follows much more easily. It's an identity-based approach to habits.
So within that be, do, have framework, how do we set goals effectively? Goals that truly align with who we're trying to become, and maybe remind us why goals are even crucial beyond just, ticking boxes on a list.
Great questions. Goals provide essential clarity. They give you that long-term vision, yes, but also crucial short-term motivation. They act like a compass, guiding your choices, not just a destination map.
Keeps you focused.
Exactly. They provide focus, helping you allocate your precious time and energy where it matters most for your growth. And for the informed listener, it's not just about defining the goal itself, it's understanding the why behind it. How does achieving this serve the person I am becoming, that BE state?
How do you bridge that gap from the BE vision to concrete action?
We often use something called a goal funnel. It starts broad with your non-specific vision, the kind of person you envision being.
Okay.
Then it funnels down through maybe life categories, eventually leading to specific, measurable goal statements. And that's where SMART goals become really useful.
Smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based.
Precisely. But you frame them with the BE in mind. So not just save $10,000 this year, HAV, but maybe I will be financially responsible by having saved $10,000 by December 31st, which I will do by automating a transfer of $6 each month. See how the BE leads.
Yes, that makes the connection much clearer.
Yeah.
But even with perfectly crafted SMART goals aligned with our BE state, there's still that universal enemy, procrastination.
Ah, yes. The Great Wall.
We all know what we should do, logically, but actual starting, sometimes it feels impossible. How do these tiny habits we talked about earlier really help conquer that?
Procrastination often isn't about laziness, is it? It's more about the perceived difficulty of the task, or maybe some underlying emotional resistance, fear of failure, fear of judgment. Maybe it just feels overwhelming.
Right.
This is where small steps leverage a key psychological principle: lowering the activation energy.
Activation energy, like in chemistry.
Kind of. It's the energy required to just get started. The 5-minute rule works wonders here because committing to just 5 minutes dramatically lowers that barrier.
So you trick your brain.
You basically make it so easy to start that it feels almost silly not to. And the magic is, once you've overcome that initial inertia, the momentum often carries you much further than 5 minutes.
Getting started is the hardest part.
Often, yes. Another great tactic is worst first. Tackle your most dreaded, unpleasant task early in the day.
Eat the frog.
Exactly. Eat the frog, get it out of the way. This gives you a dopamine hit of accomplishment that can actually fuel the rest of your day instead of having that task hang over you like a dark cloud.
That's brilliant. It's like making it so small that the thought of not starting feels more ridiculous than just doing that tiny first step.
Precisely. And for tasks that feel genuinely huge and overwhelming, task chunking is absolutely essential. Break it down and then break it down again until each step feels almost absurdly small.
Like for making a dreaded phone call.
Step 1 might literally be walk towards the phone,
Pick
up
it.
the phone. Step 3, dial the first digit. Each step is so tiny, there's no room for mental negotiation or overwhelm.
Takes the drama out of it.
It does. Similarly, time blocking, it's not just scheduling. It's about fiercely protecting that specific block of time for focused work. Like building an impenetrable fortress around it, no interruptions allowed.
What about mindset shifts?
Oh, huge. One I like is healthy delusion. It's not about denying reality, but an optimistic reframing. You consciously treat a big, intimidating project like it's a familiar, smaller task you've done before.
Interesting.
It helps convince your brain it's not actually as scary or difficult as it initially seems. Or try future self-motivation. Ask yourself right now, what can I do in this moment that my future self will be incredibly relieved and grateful for?
That creates empathy for your future self.
Exactly. And that empathy can be a powerful motivator. Accountability is another big one. Simply telling someone else your commitment increases your likelihood of following through. Social pressure works.
Leverage community.
Yeah, or even gamification apps like Finch that turn habit building into a game. And finally, never underestimate a clutter-free environment. Less physical clutter means less cognitive load, freeing up mental bandwidth to focus on the actual task, not the surrounding distractions.
Okay, this is all incredibly practical. To kind of tie it all together now, what about the physical habits? The ones that literally fuel everything else we've discussed. Our energy, our mental clarity, our basic ability to show up as that BE person we want to become.
Absolutely foundational. You can't build a strong house on shaky ground. First, move your body, but do it on your own terms.
Meaning it doesn't have to be CrossFit or marathon running.
Not at all. Exercise isn't just about physical fitness metrics. It's one of the most potent mood elevators, stress relievers, and natural antidepressants available.
Endorphins.
Endorphins, yes, but also serotonin, dopamine. It floods your brain with neurotransmitters that directly combat anxiety and depression. But the key is finding movement you actually enjoy, or at least don't actively dread. Otherwise, it won't stick.
So find your fun.
Find your fun. Join a walking club. Try restorative yoga. Have a solo dance party in your living room for 5 minutes. Take up gardening. Just take intentional stretching breaks every hour if you sit a lot. Even short bursts add up and make a difference.
And nourishment, obviously, plays a huge role, too. What we put into our bodies directly impacts our minds.
Right. It's incredibly direct. Nourish yourself with healthy foods and, crucially, consistent hydration. That gut-brain axis is not a myth. It's a powerful biological reality.
How so?
What you eat directly impacts your mood, your energy levels throughout the day, and your cognitive function, your ability to think clearly. Focus on mood-boosting nutrients.
Like what?
Things like omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon are great for brain health. Complex carbohydrates from whole grains provide sustained energy, preventing those sugar crashes that wreck your mood. Berries are packed with antioxidants that protect the brain.
So regular fueling is key.
Daily fueling, yes. Even small, nutrient-dense snacks can help keep your blood sugar stable, which keeps your brain happier and more focused. And hydrate. Please hydrate.
Water, water, water.
Yes. Even mild dehydration can significantly impair cognitive function, make anxiety feel worse, and reduce mental clarity. It seems basic, but it's critical. And alongside that, limiting things like alcohol, excessive caffeine, refined carbohydrates, and added sugars is also really important.
Why those specifically?
Because they can cause energy crashes, disrupt sleep, and generally worsen anxiety symptoms for many people. It's about creating stable energy and mood.
Wow. We've covered so much ground. From the incredible power of those tiny intentional actions to nurturing our inner world with rest and reflection, and then mastering our actions to beat procrastination and set goals that actually mean something. This deep dive has really hammered home that self-improvement isn't some destination you arrive at. It's an ongoing journey.
Absolutely.
And it's fueled by these consistent, small, intentional habits across all areas, mental, physical, personal growth. It really is about transformation, not chasing some impossible standard of perfection.
That is the absolute core lesson we hope you take away today. It's not about making these huge, overwhelming changes that burn you out and deplete your willpower in a week.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating a mindset of self-kindness, first and foremost, finding your unique keystone habit, and then really committing to those tiny habits daily. Remember Mary.
Right.
Every single step, no matter how small it feels in the moment, is progress. These microdisciplines, practiced consistently over time, they aren't just changing what you do, they are fundamentally reshaping who you are becoming.
Leading you towards the life you actually envision for yourself.
Exactly, step by tiny step.
So as you, our listener, reflect on everything we've talked about today, maybe consider this. What one tiny habit, starting today, right now, will you commit to? Not just to change what you do, but to begin consciously shaping the person you are becoming.
A powerful question to leave with.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.